So today I wanted to go over the gear that I carried in my pack in 2021, this past fall deer season. And I'm about to make some changes in camera gear, trying to lighten things up, make things a little bit more compact, easier to use. And so some of the things will change, but this is what I carried. This is what I've been carrying probably, well, since I changed over to the bigger camera. So it's been a little while now. It's been 5 or 6 years that I've carried all the same stuff. And I carry it all. My pack is in here all the time. It lives in this bag year round. That's where it always is. It comes out, it goes back in. On my way to my hunting spots, I get there, I get out of the truck, bag comes out, I get dressed, I hunt, everything goes back in the bag. So just keeps it, organized. Everything goes back in the same spot. And I got all my clothes in here. That changes with the seasons and temperatures. But I got my binoculars in here. These are 21 or 2 years old, I think, a pair of Leicas. I mean, they say you get what you pay for. And I paid a lot of money for these, and I was very hesitant. But 20 some years later, they're still golden. So that's one thing I have in there. And I had my harness in here. It's just a muddy harness, and I really hate it. I don't understand why manufacturers put padding up here. It doesn't do nothing. And it's super thick right here, right on the nape of your neck. And when you wear clothes and you put your hands in your pockets, and it just puts a lot of pressure right on the back of your neck, and it just wears you out. And I like to wear this under my outer layer, so it just makes it more bulky for no good reason. I'm going to be switching over to like a mountaineering type harness, but a lightweight one. Hopefully it'll work out better. So this is my pack. This is mainly what I wanted to go over. It is absolutely nothing fancy. It's an old Field and Stream pack that I got when I switched over to my bigger camera. I needed more space to carry because I used to have a little tiny handy cam with a little homemade, junky camera arm, but it worked for a year or two, however long it was. But anyway, I'll go pretty quick. This is something I started carrying this year on the outside of my pack, a knife. Actually, I think there's one in here because I always used to carry one buried up in there. But now I carried this one on the outside. It's a lot easier to access. And in the event of a fall, hopefully I could get to it if I needed to cut myself down or whatever. I don't know, but it's easy to access there. I won't get my bloody hands, reaching around in there and getting my stuff all dirty. So on the outside here, my pruning shears, I always carry these. These are ratchet pruners. They had like a handle here, a hand guard, which I cut off just to make them a little lighter. But they're pretty good quality. They're aluminum. They always go with me. I used to have a saw in here too, but I stopped carrying that a while back. I didn't really use the saw, and it was just extra weight. In here, this is an endless loop that I made out of Amsteel, and I used this one time on my tree tether. When I needed to make it a little bit longer, I looped it right into the tether. There was one big tree that I was hunting this year, and it came in handy, and I started carrying it this year because of that. And I also have this in here, and this is another endless loop, but it's a sewn. It's manufactured by somebody. I'm not sure. It's for climbing. I use this for the same tree, but I use this on my tree stand to make the tree stand strap longer. And then this one, I have 3 screw-in bow holders. One for my bow, one for my pack, and one usually above my head that I hook a little tripod on with one of my action cameras to get that overhead view for a second or third angle. And this is the strap that I use to hold my camera arm out. It's got a hook on one end and an over center buckle on the other end. And that's it for that pocket. This bottom pocket here is where I carry my Evercon so I can get at it quick. As I'm walking in, I can just reach behind me and grab it, put it on my boots, put it on some trees, whatever I want to do with it. That goes in that pocket. On the outside of this one pocket, this is an extra pull-up rope that I use for my tree stand on my mobile setup. I usually use sticks to go up. I'll put my linesman belt around, and as I go up, I'll have this a hook to me on one end and hook to the tree stand on the other. So once I get my linesman belt, you know, set and everything, and I'm set on the tree, I can just pull my stand up with this rope. So that one always stays there in that pocket. This is the next zippered pocket on the side. Headlamp. I mean, I always have one of these. These are some bright eyes, some orange bright eyes, which I carry in here. I don't hardly ever use them. I don't know. I may take them out. I don't know if I really need them, but I like them for when I'm hunting a spot that I'm unfamiliar with, and I know exactly where I got to go, so I don't walk too far. I don't cross trails I don't want to cross, so I can just put a couple of these out so I know exactly where I got to go. There's another thing in this pocket. These are my earbuds. Used to check sound on my video camera, but I hardly ever use them anymore. I just use the display on the screen to tell me that the sound is good. So these are probably going to come out. And my glasses, my reading glasses. Much as I hate to admit it, I don't see as good as I used to up close. So when I'm checking the cameras and checking footage in the tree and all that sort of thing, I always have a cheap pair of these in here. So this near pocket here, this is where I carry my linesman's rope for when I'm climbing. That always stays in there. And everything that I'm taking out goes right back in the same pocket every time, every hunt, all the time. I know exactly where everything lives in this pack. This is a this is a pee bottle. I've carried one for, I don't know, forever. I don't know if I'm going to carry it anymore. A lot of people believe, you know, you don't need to, you can just pee off the stand, whatever. I just kind of like to keep myself as low impact as possible. So I've always carried one. And this bottom little pouch pocket here, this is where I carry my tree tether. Again, easily accessible. So when I'm climbing, when I get to where I need to put it on, I can just reach back before I even take my pack off, grab it, put it on the tree, and I'm good to go. Now we'll go to this outer accessory pocket here. And this is where we got the good stuff. This is where we start getting into some camera gear. This one pouch here, I have 2 action cameras in here that I carry in little ankle socks. And they stay in these cases when I'm not using them for protection, and I use them if it's raining out. I'll keep them in these cases, but the sound stinks while they're in there. So most of the time, as long as it's not raining or dripping or something like that, I'll take the cameras right out and either put one on my head, on a head strap, or put one above me or in front of me or something, depending on what angle I want. But they stay in there all the time. That same pocket, I have an extra shooting glove and an extra bowstring. Up on top, this is my microphone for my camera. This is a Rode Video Mic Pro. Let's see, what else is in that pouch? My back tag. It's supposed to be on my back, but I never put it on my back. I always keep it in my pack. This is a little cell phone holder that you can screw into a tripod. So when I want to take pictures or, you know, use it whenever I need a tripod for my cell phone, it's adjustable. And I always carry that, and it doesn't weigh hardly nothing, and it's flat, so it doesn't take up any room. And this little stuff, leaves and stuff all over it. Extra SD cards, and if I had extra batteries, this is where they would be in this bag. In the main pouch right here, this is my head strap for my camera, my action camera. It goes on the side of my head. Here's the extra knife I was talking about. It's the same as the one that was on the outside, so I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't need to carry 2 of them. Hats, depending on how hot or cold it is. Lightweight merino wool, lightweight fleece, a little heavier weight fleece, and a regular knit cap. But in the beginning of the season, I basically probably carry just these 2 mostly. Neck gaiter for when it's cold. These gloves, these are a pair of Kuyu, which is pretty much all I wear. Ever since they sent me some prototypes, I haven't really seen any reason to wear anything else. I really like it. A pair of guide gloves that I carry that, I don't know, I may take these out too because I hardly ever use them. Here's the remote that controls the two action cameras. The batteries are probably dead in the action camera, but basically what you do is you press this button, it'll start up, and then once it connects, which it won't because the batteries are dead in the camera because they haven't used them in so long, then you just press this button when it's time to start recording. And that hangs from this little thing on the bottom of my camera arm on the knob that adjusts the tilt, and I just reach back and I can turn it on, do what I got to do with it. And this is my little Joby GorillaPod. This is a mini one. I use this for taking pictures. I do also use it above me. I hook it on a screw-in bow holder, and I'll put the camera on it like sitting right here and hook this above me, and the camera will be, you know, focused down on me or whichever direction I want to put it on. Sometimes I put it out in front of me on a branch facing back at me, or you know, you can do whatever you want to do with it, but it's handy to have for pictures and for video. And my trusty Phoenix PD30 that this is actually, I've had this for a long time. When the Wenzel brothers were selling it, they may still be, I don't know, but when they first started, I bought one. And it, you know, it's not heavy, it's super quality. I carry it just as a backup for my headlamp and for when I'm trailing at night. So now to the main compartment. This is my camera, which at some point I want to make a video of just camera gear. I get a lot of questions about it, what I use, why I use it. And this is a Sony CX900. It's a prosumer camera. It's got a bunch of extra controls on it on the outside. It does a lot more than I do with it, but it's a great camera. It's got a big sensor, which is why I bought it. It's got a big sensor. It's very good in low light to have that ability to capture good footage when the light is bad. I'm going to try some other options this year. I'm really trying to downsize things, but that's going to be hard to give up just because of the quality footage I get. And that's not even 4K, it's just the HD version. They have a 4K version of this same camera. This is left over from our rifle season and muzzleloader season when I was bow hunting. Had some issues with that in the past. I was actually shot once in 2003, Thanksgiving morning, but that's a story for another day. But anyway, this is the last thing in here. This is my camera arm. This is a prototype carbon fiber arm from Jason Red at Timber Ninja. He sent me. It was different when he sent it to me. I changed it. I shortened this backside up. I shortened the tree bracket up, and I made it so it swivels side to side, and it's short because I like for this to live in my water bladder pouch. I just slide it right in there, and with this being short, it makes it easy and pretty flat, as you can see. I put it on the tree. I turn this so it gets on the tree good, and then adjust it with the knob. But and the camera arm is a 4th arrow, but this is just the video head, they call now. I have a VariZoom on it that controls the camera remotely, so I can do it with my fingers. I don't have to touch the camera at all. Yeah, so that is what I carried, and I have been carrying for a long time. The only other thing I got here is just a carabiner I use to hook onto my tree stand when I carry it on my back, my mobile setup. I hook this on a little piece of paracord I have looped onto the stand, and then I just put a bungee cord around it. So, I mean, that's everything. With everything that's in here right now, I think it's around 14 or 15 pounds. So I'm hoping the smaller camera setup, you know, a little bit smaller microphone maybe, get rid of a couple things. Hopefully I can cut down a pound or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. There's some things in here I probably could get rid of, but there's not much. I mean, I carry what I consider the bare minimum for what I do. You know, like I said, everything goes in the same spot. It lives in the same pocket, so I know exactly where it is. I take something out, I know exactly where it is. Even within a pouch, I'll put like some things to one side of the pouch and something on the other side of the pouch, so I know I don't have to fish around in this big pocket. I know my little tripod goes here, and my remote for my action cameras goes on this side, and that's amongst the, you know, the hats and the net gator and everything else that lives in here, so I know, you know, where to find it. Anyway, that's about it. I'm gonna try to do a more detailed video of my camera gear. I do want to go over my bow too. I get a lot of questions about my bow and my arrows, broadheads that I use, that sort of thing. But there's going to be more, more how-tos, more why I carry this or don't carry it, and that sort of thing. And I'm going to try to kind of chronicle my change in camera gear and see what I can come up with. That's it. I mean, that's what I carried in 2021. Like I said, there's going to be some changes, but thanks for watching.